So when you look at the Scientology, and then this is from San Bruno, California. In reference to epidemic of covert criminal harassment.
Good evening and welcome to the February 12th, 2019 San Bruno City Council meeting, calling it to order. We also want to thank the Garden Club for providing the floral arrangement. If I could ask, please, Mr. Chief Barberini, if you could lead us in the pledge, because since you won. I pledge allegiance.
So let me go on. I'm going to fast forward it after this so that we can get to the gentleman who's making the public commentary.
Salazar?
Here.
Vice Mayor O'Connor.
Involving
Good evening.
Good evening. I appreciate the opportunity to speak with you today, and I want to thank Councilman Marty Medina for inviting us today. Some of you may have heard about the scandal involving Harvey Weinstein. Weinstein is a Hollywood producer, and over 30 years, he sexually harassed or raped over 80 women that we know about. He did this over such a long period of time, it makes you wonder, how did he get away with it for so long? The answer to that question came in an expose from the New Yorker, which described a system Weinstein used against his victims using private investigative firms. The PI firms were used to intimidate and harass these women so as to deter them from going public with their concerns. If they were walking on foot, the PI firm would follow her around town. If she was in the park with her family, the PI would come in an intimidating SUV and park nearby. The point was to silence Weinstein's Me Too victims, and it worked for 30 years. This system is called covert harassment, and it was not just Weinstein who's used this system. Increasingly, it's a collection of techniques, a protocol that the wealthy and the powerful are using against the powerless. It systematically breaks down the target in a secretive, psychological way. Covert harassment often includes improper surveillance, such as the kind I described, tailing and following, hacking of devices, and coordinated harassment. It is meant to cause fear, stress, and paranoia in the subject. Another group that uses covert harassment is Scientology. Leah Remini, a Hollywood actress and former Scientologist, produced a documentary showing video evidence of how Scientology members follow and harass critics. A Department of Justice study found several 100,000 Americans suffer from this predatory behavior. In other words, we know the problem is pervasive. Our support group, Live Free, works with dozens of victims, and 2/3 are women. The problem goes far beyond Weinstein. We are requesting that San Bruno pass a citywide resolution condemning covert harassment. We believe such a resolution would make the seriousness of the crime clear to everyone involved. Most of all, it would make the victims of this systematized harassment feel that they've been heard. A resolution would put the Weinsteins out there on notice. We request to meet with city staff and discuss the issue in greater detail and explore feasibility of drafting a city resolution to this end. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there
So that was from the San Bruno City Council in reference to a group that's working with victims of targeting, 2/3 of which are women, and asking for some help from these local communities
of the recent Battle of the Badges. That's blood
in reference to bringing to light. But the problem is that a lot of these cities, mainly through high-level government agencies, etc., have instructed a lot of the law enforcement and everything to stand down, which means that there are many within who know what's happening to the victim, and they're told not to say anything. But see, in order to prosecute, you must have disclosure, especially for the victim. This is organized terrorism, on the streets of America. And they call it gang stalking, but it's not like the stereotypes of gangs with their cult, the Crips or the Bloods or whoever. It's not like that. These are community members, churchgoers, housewives, people who work in retail or public utilities. They recruit low-level people or individuals that they feel can manipulate their member base or their group base in order to manipulate them into either active participation or silence. They have been building this network for years. And getting into organized labor, which is the last stronghold against this type of tyranny and fascism and authoritarianism, is one of the most dangerous that's happening. And I'm watching it unfold as I go to work every day.